I had something stressful and like sad happen in my life recently, and in response, I bought a shit ton of books. Like so many books. I'm looking at the floor right now because I just can't even move. They're just everywhere. It's ridiculous. And a lot of these I haven't even opened, so I thought it'd be fun to do a little unboxing video as well as a book haul. First book, I'm choosing a small one. A small little package. So let's get into this. The first book I have no memory of buying. This is A Spy in the House of Love by Nis Nin. Why did I buy this? I think I bought this because I saw some quote online that talked about like love or grief or heartbreak or something like that. And I just immediately bought it because I was having no self-control. So this is book number 1. Tell me if you've heard of it because I have no idea what it's about and I don't want to read the back. Okay, for number 2, this one has several different books in it. So let's go for this one. This is an order from Pango Books. So I'm a little bit worried about the quality, but we'll figure it out as we go. Okay, there's a bunch of books in here. First one I'm seeing, I'm a Fan by Sheena Patel. This book follows a girl who's stalking a woman on the internet who's sleeping with the same man as her. That's all I know. And I know that like this girl's an influencer or something like that, and she goes kind of crazy stalking her online. I've heard this book is very polarizing. You either love it or you absolutely hate it. I hope I'm gonna be in the first camp, but I can't guarantee that. But I really just love the cover, and like I said, I was having no control, so I had to buy it. Next, we've got this one I'm excited about. Mary by Nat Cassidy. This is a horror novel. I keep seeing it going around. I keep seeing everyone giving it like glowing reviews. I know nothing about it. I'm going to go into it blind. Next up, The People in the Trees by Hanya Yanagihara. I absolutely love A Little Life. I know that's also a very polarizing book, controversial. Everyone hates it or loves it. I happened to love it when I read it, even though it was a few years ago now, so I don't know if I'd feel the same. But I loved that book, and so when I saw this on there at the same buyer, I was like, okay, just throw it in. And the last book in here is If an Egyptian Cannot Speak English by Noor Naga. This book I know nothing about. I think it's a love story. In a post-Arab Spring Cairo, 2 unnamed characters meet and fall in love. So I was right. I've seen this one going around a lot on Book Talk, I think, and so I just picked it up. I was having no self-control. What can I say? It's a problem. Next one. This is a cute little color, a little salmon color. Salmon? Oh, God. Ooh, I've been excited about this one. This is Chlorine by Jade Song. This one follows a girl who loves swimming and she wants to be a mermaid. I've heard it's horror. I've heard it's really fucking weird, so I had to get it. I didn't have to get it, but I did get it. And then next, let's go with this turquoise one, because this is a pretty color. It's just like harder and harder to get these open. I'm struggling. They wrapped it. That's cute. Okay, let's open it. I can't do this with one hand, but I'm going to try. Ooh, I'm excited. This is A Girl Story by Annie Ernaux. Ernaux is how the French would say it. This is a famous French writer, and this is, I guess, the story of her childhood. It talks about when she was 18 and she submitted herself to a man's will, is what the back says, which is quite a description. But I've heard a lot of praise about this writer, and I really wanted to read some more French lit. I'm going to do a video series soon where I read books like around the world, and I want to do like one country per video, so this is going to go in the French video. I think. It might not. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. Next. This one is going to be next because it's the first one I saw. This is 3 Women by Lisa Taddeo. This follows nearly a decade of reporting, and it follows 3 women, and I think it talks about their sex lives. I don't know much about it. What I do know is that I really loved Lisa Taddeo's book Animal, and this is nonfiction, which is really interesting. But I think essentially she followed these 3 women around. Well, she interviewed and talked to these women for like a decade, and then she wrote about their lives, which sounded really interesting, and I really liked her writing and the fiction that she wrote, so I'm excited to check this out and see what it's like. It just sounds like a really interesting premise. I've got such a mess going already. Okay, this one scares me. I don't know why. I just don't think I ordered anything this little, so looking at this one kind of like stresses me out. I don't even know how to open it. It's all tape. Okay. Me desperately trying not to show my address, because last time I did an unboxing video, I had to like black out half the screen because I kept showing my address to the camera. I'm really good at YouTube. What the hell is this? Oh, okay. I've never seen a modern classic this small. This is Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. It is so small. Like, I didn't even know they made them this small. Oh, I don't have it up there, so I can't show it to you to compare. This is a story of two men who fall in love in Paris in the 1950s. I recently read A Fire Next Time by James Baldwin and fell in love with his writing, and now I want to read everything he's ever written. So this is the first fiction that I'm going to start with. Okay, next. These two... Oh, no, that was my address. Okay. Oh, I revealed it. Okay. I'm not gonna be living here much longer. You can come here if you want. It's like, I'm gonna leave in like a week. I am actually moving. That wasn't a joke. So, whatever. Let's go with this one because it's blue. It's also small. It's so cute that people like wrap up their little books for Pango because I do not do that at all. I just shove them in a padded envelope and send them out. But it's a cute little extra thought that counts. They gave me a cute little bookmark. That's nice of them. And then let's rip this open because I don't know what it is. Ooh, okay, this is Star of the Acre by Andrew Michael Hurley. Okay, what I know about this book is that it's folk horror. I've never read any folk horror, at least I don't think so, because I don't really understand what the genre means. But I kept seeing people talk about it on Book Talk, and it seemed like a really interesting genre to pursue. I've been getting really into horror lately, so I thought that this would be just a fun, like, subgenre to get into. I know nothing about this. I think it takes place in the woods. That's all I've got for you. I promise there are books in this video that I know things about. Okay, this one has a couple in it, so let's get to this one. Okay, we've got two. First we have is Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. This is a story that follows this cafe where you can go back in time, but you have to return before your coffee gets cold. I've seen this around everywhere. Like, everyone talks about this book. It's supposed to be like a cozy book, which, to be honest, cozy books don't really intrigue me, but the premise sounds interesting enough, so I figured I'd give it a shot. And then next is The Committed by Viet Thanh Nguyen. This is the second book to the sequel to The Sympathizer. And in The Sympathizer, you're following a spy during the Vietnamese War. And I really liked that book. I read that book for my, Reading Phoebe Bridgers' Favorite Books Part 2 video. So if you want to hear my review on that, check that out. But I wanted to buy Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and this person also had this in their shop, so I figured I may as well just add it to the order. And this is why I ended up with so many books. But I am actually excited to get to this because I did really like the first book. Okay, next. This one, oh my goodness, is heavy. I have no idea how many books are in here, so let's go with this. I can't even cut through it. Like, I'm trying my best. Holy crap, there's a lot of books in here. Okay, first one I'm seeing is, it's wrapped. Oh, it's large print. I didn't want large print. That sucks. It doesn't suck. I'll be fine. I'm happy it's a book. This is Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. This is, from what I understand, it's supposed to be somewhat of a retelling of David Copperfield, but it follows someone growing up in Appalachia and, like, talks about the struggles of drug addiction in that region. This is huge because it's a large print edition. Let's see how big the print is. Oh my god. Oh my god, no, I can't. I cannot. That print is huge. Like, you're getting like 3 words a page. Oh my god, I can't read this. That was my bad. I didn't see it was large text. I'm gonna immediately list this back on Pango Books. Maybe I'll try reading it. We'll see. Okay, next book is also in bubble wrap, which I'm honestly not mad about because the bubble wrap's going to be very helpful when I move. This book is The Remains of the Day by Kazu Ishiguro. I know nothing about this book, and I definitely want to go into it blind, so I'm sorry. This is another synopsis that I yet again will not be talking about. However, I wanted to read this book because I really loved Never Let Me Go by this author, and now I just want to read everything that he's ever written. So I saw this book, and I grabbed it. And they also gave me a bookmark, which I don't really like it, but that's just me being a brat, I guess. They had a good selection of books, though. The next book I got from them is Our Missing Hearts by Celeste Ng. This is, I don't know what this is, but I don't know what this is. Celeste Ng, I've read her 2 other books, and I've really enjoyed them. She's kind of written, like, contemporary thriller type books, so that's what I'm expecting this to be as well. Oh, it follows a 12-year-old named Bird. That's a weird name. Okay, whatever. I'm still excited about it. I liked her other books, and I'm excited to see what this one's about. What else is in here? She gave me another sticker and some tabs. I don't tab my books. I feel like I sound so ungrateful. I don't mean to be ungrateful. It's just sometimes when people add in stuff like this, it's like, oh, what am I going to do with it? Which, again, is such a first world issue, and it's so sweet of them to put these things in here, but still. Next book. Let's keep Let's keep things positive, Sabrina. Next book is The Book of the Most Precious... The Book of the Most Precious Substance by Sarah Gran. Another book I don't know anything about. Don't come for me. That's the theme of this video until, I swear to God, the books that I bought at Barnes & Noble, I know things about. Like, I will be talking about those a bit more. I shouldn't say that, because watch, I'm going to get those books. I'm not going to know shit about them either. I don't know anything about this book. I saw Books and Lala talk about it. I think that's her name. You know who I'm talking about. She's a huge creator on here. I saw her talking about this book and how much she liked it, and I saw her like reread it and still say that she likes it, and she said it was really, really weird, so I had to get it. I had no choice in the matter. And last book from this seller, if I can get it out of the bag. Thought there was a bug crawling on me. Turns out I'm just sweating. Next book is The Berry Pickers by Amanda Peters. This is a book I've wanted to read ever since I first saw someone talk about it on BookTube. It follows like a young Native American girl who's going picking for berries, and then goes missing and they don't know where she is. That's all I know. But this cover is... Okay, she must be picking for blueberries because there's blueberries on the cover. This cover is gorgeous. And I don't know, something about it really makes me want to read it. So I'm excited about this. This is the next one I'm going to open. Woo! Oh, I am excited about this one. This is 10 minutes, 38 seconds in This Strange World by Leaf Shafak. Oh my god. Shafak. I don't know. Oh, it's kind of gross. There's like, you know the sticker residue? Like, when you pick a sticker off, it's so sticky and then like all the little hairs stick to it. That's what the back of this cover is like, so that's pretty gross. This book, in the very beginning of the book, the main character dies, and you're basically living like the 10 minutes and 38 seconds that she still has consciousness while she goes throughout her entire life, and you see like the people that loved her. And I think she was living as like a prostitute or something in the beginning, and you see like how she got there. What's her name? Emily something read this book and she loved it. And ever since she's been talking about it, it's made me want to pick it up. Ooh, this is a nice little package. It's a bright, fiery red. I need to be better at opening these so I can reuse them, actually, because that would be really nice. Ooh, okay. This is Annibot by Sierra Greer. This book takes place like in the future, and it follows like a sex robot, and her owner, I guess is what you would call him, prefers her to act more like a real human. So she's trying to do that, and it's like talks about what humanity is, what it is to be human. I think there's a lot of questions about like consent as well in here, obviously. So I'm giving a really bad description, but I am excited about this book, and I think it sounds really interesting. Okay, last Pango book one. This one has a couple in it too. And then we can get to Book Outlet, and then we can get to Barnes & Noble. This is crazy. It's like I'm trying to get them open without ripping the bag so I can reuse the bag. Ooh, okay. I just turned it upside down. That's all I had to do. First book I'm seeing is Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. This book is it's not a retelling. It talks about like Shakespeare's son, who he named the character Hamlet after. They're making a movie about this, and I think Paul Mescal is going to be in it, so I have to read it before the movie comes out, and I'm obsessed with Paul Mescal. But I've also heard such good things about this. Like, so many people will love this book. And I've never read anything by Maggie O'Farrell before, so I have to give this a shot. I have to. Then we have Bellies by Nicola Danan. I believe this follows two trans teenagers in a relationship. I'm not entirely sure. If nothing, it's definitely LGBTQ, but I'm not sure what the exact representation is. But I've heard a lot of people talk about this, and I don't know. I saw it on Penguin Books, and I was in a bad mood, so I bought it. And the last one from Penguin Books I know nothing about, and that is Little Blue Encyclopedia for Vivian by Hazel Jane Plant. This book I bought because the little shop that I bought those two books for, like, I would get free shipping if I spent like $3 more, and shipping was going to be like $5, so I just spent the money on a book instead. This playful and poignant novel sifts through a queer trans woman's unrequited love for her straight trans friend who died. That sounds sad. I'm probably going to love it. Okay, those are all the Pango books. Well, the books from Pango Books. Next, I have a box from Book Outlet, so let's get that gone through. Here she is. She's not that big, but she's pretty big. I don't know why I'm holding it in front of my face and then talking. Like, that's a really great filmography right there. Okay. This is going to be a great sound. Are you guys ready? And again, I dropped it. First book I see in here is The Housemate by Frida McFadden. I know nothing about this book other than it's like a mystery thriller and that it won the Goodreads Choice Award. And I want to read more like mystery thriller books, so I saw it on Book Outlet and I just bought it. I can't explain myself well. Then in this little haul are some books that I bought just for the covers. So that was an awful noise. Next we have The Exhibition of Persephone by Jessie Jezwecka Stevens. I know nothing about this book. I bought it because of the cover. Look how pretty that is. That's a beautiful... I'm a sucker for an oil painting on a book cover. Next is Pawn by Claire Louise Bennett. This follows an unnamed young woman chronicling her life on the outskirts of a small coastal village. Okay. Then we've got The Future by Adam Thirlwell. Again, oil painting on a cover. Love it. Oh my god. I'm stacking all the books next to me. Can you see? Okay, you can't see. They're up this high though, and I'm just precariously stacking them. And they're gonna fall over. I'm gonna be upset when they fall over, but I'm still gonna continue stacking them like this. Next, Strega by Like Home. I bought this one because of the cover, because I thought it was pretty. And also, when I read the description, it sounded weird. So I love a weird, pretty book. Then we have, I don't know how I'm going to feel about this one. This is A Psalm for the Wild Boat by Becky Chambers. This is a cozy sci-fi book. Like I said before, I'm not really like a cozy person, but this book has so much hype. I hear so many people talking about it and loving it that I just saw it on there. I was like, okay, I'll add it to my cart. You sold me. And the last book from Book Outlet is, what is it? The New Me by Haley Butler. Another one I know nothing about. But I've seen this one on Book Talk a lot, so I had to get it. I didn't have to get it, but I got it. I'm so scared of this little stack falling over. Okay, now on to the books I bought from Barnes & Noble. I feel like I should have split this up into like 3 book videos. Should I? No, because I've been talking about it the whole time. So the first book I got from Barnes & Noble, I went there in person, just went crazy, is Blitz by Norman Ohler. This is a book that was actually originally written in German, but now it's been translated, and it says right on the cover, it's about drugs in Nazi Germany. I actually started reading this and then I put it down, but when I started reading it, it was really interesting. It was talking about how like meth was made in Germany, and how it was like a very commonplace drug that everyone took all the time, which is crazy to think about. Like, let's just casually do some meth, everybody. Let's. I've been going so long that my camera turned off on me. So, next book I know nothing about, and that is Kairos by Jenny Erpenbeck. This is a German author, and I want to do that Read Around the World challenge, so I bought this book. I've also been seeing it everywhere on Bookstagram. Ooh, by the way, I finally created an Instagram for books, hence Bookstagram. You might have heard of that. It is Books by Brie. Please follow, and I'll follow you back. I'm just having a fun time on there, posting pictures of books. I love books, guys. I think they're so fun. Next, we have Jawbone by Monica Ojeda. This is another translated book, so I bought it. This is supposed to be horror, but really I was just entranced by the cover. I thought the cover was so fun. That's what really drew me in. So I bought it. Not gonna say anything else. Then we have What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. This is a retelling of the fall of the House of Usher. Is that what it's called? The Fall of the House of Usher. Yeah, I got that right. So it's horror. It's supposed to be atmospheric, gothic. The word gothic, I buy it. 2 of these books in here were just on like a recommended gothic story shelf, and I bought immediately. And the first one, actually, it's right here, is Carmilla by Joseph Sheridan Le Fanu, but edited by Carmen Maria Machado, who's one of my favorite authors. This is the original vampire story. It came out before Dracula, and it's about like, I think it's about like a gay woman vampire. Like, hearing that is enough to make me pick it up, but even just hearing that's the first vampire story is enough to make me pick it up, so it wins on both ends. Then this book I picked up because I really loved, what's it called? The Third Season? Is that it? I can't see it. It's hidden by all these books behind me. But I really loved that book, so I picked up The Killing Moon by N.K. Jemisin. I really wanted to try something else by this author after I really liked that series. The Broken Earth series, something like that. You know what I mean? No idea what it's about. I just picked it up. I'm so embarrassed by this book haul. Then we have Despair by Vladimir Nabokov. I don't know why I said it like that. It has been so long since I read Lolita. I read Lolita when I was like 14 or 15 years old, and I wasn't like a big reader at that time, but even then I remember thinking that the writing was so beautiful, and I haven't read it since. And it's actually like packed up at my dad's house, so I don't have easy access to it, but I wanted to read something by this author again. So when I saw this at Barnes & Noble, I just wanted to pick it up so I could like experience his writing again and see if I actually really liked it or not. But this book follows a man who undertakes the perfect crime, his own murder, and that sounds fun. Murder sounds fun. Then we have Penance by Eliza Clark. This is the author that wrote Boy Parts, which I wasn't crazy about, but which has had a lot of hype online. And I've also seen this book getting a lot of hype as well. This book follows a group of young girls, and one is set on fire by 3 others. So that's awful. And it's basically a decade after that murder, and it follows like a journalist who talks to these girls again. This one sounds a lot more interesting than Boy Parts to me, so I'm actually hoping they'll like this one better. And then this is the other book that was just like on the gothic shelf, and then it's Oh Caledonia by Elspeth Barker. This book follows, from what I remember, it follows a story of like a girl who dies, and that's all I know. It's supposed to be gothic, so I picked it up. And then this is the first book I saw when I walked into Barnes & Noble, and then it's Organ Meat by Kay Ming Chang. This is like the weirdest sanity book I've ever found, I think. It follows 2 best friends who like hang out by these pack of dogs that can communicate with humans. They learn they have been preceded by generations of dog-headed women and woman-headed dogs whose bloodlines bind them together. And then to preserve their friendship, one of the girls convinces the other to become a dog with her. That's all I need to know. Like, that sounds so fucking weird. I have to pick it up. I had to. I didn't have any choice in the matter. It was out of my hands. And then the last book I got from Barnes & Noble is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. This book takes place in Alaska, and I think it follows, like, homesteaders. I read The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna when it first came out in 2016, I think, and I loved that book. I don't know if I would still like it, but I loved it at the time. And I saw someone talking about this book online, so I got it. I picked it up. Oh, and then we have 3 books that I forgot about that I also bought on Pango Book, but like before all these I had to open. So let's go through those quick before I get to the other books. The first of which is The House on the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. This book I know nothing about other than it was so hyped for a while there. Like everyone loved this book. I know it's cozy. Don't like cozy, but I decided to try anyway. Then this is a book that was all over BookTube last year, and the encyclopedia, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. As this video goes on, I can just talk coherently less and less and less. I think everyone knows what this book is about. It's about like this girl named Emily Wilde, and it takes place in a world where like fairies are real, and she's making like an encyclopedia of fairies. Like it's pretty easy to understand. And then the last book in this little section is Bruce by Diz Tate. This is a book I'm so excited about. This follows like a bunch of girls in middle grade, I think, and just talks about like their relationship to each other and how brutal they are to each other and how like awful they are to each other. And I've heard that it gets really intense and like really nasty, and I'm so looking forward to it. Okay, then the next 3 books are all part of the same series, and I read the first book and I wanted to pick up the others, so pick them all up right away. So let me just get those 3 out of the way. I have to go around. Oh, you can see the book tower. I have to go around. Oh, it's shaking precariously. I have to go around it to pick up these books. So let's hope I don't make it fall. Everything's fine. Okay, the first of these 3 books is Valor by John Gwynne. I don't know why I'm holding it over here. That's awkward. This is the second book in the Fateful and the Fallen series. The first book is Malice, and I just finished that book, and it's a very hard book to describe, but I will try my best. Malice essentially takes place in this high fantasy setting. You're following a really wide cast of characters, like there's so many different POVs, and essentially what's happening is a god war is brewing, and each god, there's like a good god and a bad god. They're choosing their champion, and you don't know who they are in the story, but you just know that like things are starting to, like trouble's starting to ramp up. There's dragons, there's giants, there's big wolven, there's big like lizard things that the giants ride. Like it's everything that you want in a fantasy. It's political. It's fun. It is fun, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm actually reading this book right now. And then you have the sequel, so the third book, to reach across the book tower again, which is Wrath. And then you have the last book. I'm so frightened to knock this over. Okay. Last book is Ruin. These are huge, huge books. And I want to binge them. So bad. Okay. And now, the very last little group of books here are a bunch of books that I got from NYRB online. I don't know why, but I'm just obsessed with like New York Review books right now, even though I haven't read any of them. I'm just obsessed with the idea of them. I think it's because there's a lot of translated fiction. There's a lot of like weird sounding books. So I bought a bunch. And I'm telling myself these are for my birthday, but I'm probably going to buy myself more books for my birthday. Except I really shouldn't. Actually, maybe I won't, because there are so many books here right now. I'm not going to do that. This is the end. We have Marjorie Kemp by Robert Gluck. I picked this one up because I really liked the cover. And when I read the description, it said something about a woman falling in love with Jesus. That's all I needed to hear. Next is Mourning a Breast by Shi. This is a Chinese translation, and it talks about the author's mourning of her breast. Like, she had breast cancer and she had to get 1 or 2 removed. I think only 1. So it talks about like her recovery and stuff. But I don't know why this one drew me in, but it just did. Then we have, this is a bigger one, The People Immortal by Vasily Grossman. This is translated from the Russian. This one just sounded, what does it say? Set during the catastrophic first months of the German invasion of the Soviet Union, is the tale of an army battalion dispatched to slow the advancing army at any cost, with encirclement and annihilation at its promised end. Okay, it sounds good. Soviet Union, come on. I'm going to pick it up. Then we have Ariane, a Russian Girl by Claude Anet. I don't know what this one's about, but the back just drew me in. It said, men speak freely of the woman they've had, and we're condemned to silence. Why? Aren't we as free as you? Don't we, like you, have the right to take pleasure wherever we find it? So it talks about this girl who's 17, she's very unconventional, and her father wants to marry her off, but she wants to go to Moscow to go attend a university, and that's what she does. And that's the story it follows, her in Moscow. Then we have The Seventh Cross by Anna Siggers. This is like a World War II story. This is translated from the German. I figured this could go nicely in my reading German fiction video. And then the last book of this absolutely monstrous book haul is Life with Picasso. This book follows Francois Gillot. I don't know if it's like supposed to be pronounced in a French way or how an American would say it. And I'm American, so I'm going to say Gillot. Gillot. This is a woman who had a relationship with Picasso, and it talks about how awful that was for her, I'm pretty sure. And I had to pick it up. It just sounded really interesting. Like, I know nothing about Picasso. I'm pretty sure he was an abuser. I'm pretty sure he was, like, terrible to women, as most famous men, I feel like, are. But it just sounded really interesting. So there you go. Thank you for sticking with me throughout this book haul while I talk about all these books that I don't know anything about. Let me know which one I should read first down below. Let me know what books you've hauled recently. Let me know anything in the comments. I just like replying to comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon with another video. Goodbye.